You're not allowing me to say
Ms.
what
Rodriguez, this court is ordering that you appear with the children at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Ms. Rodriguez, you be here too to pick up the children.
I'm not,
be down here.
I'm not doing that. They're not.
Mr. Goldberg, it should not appear at 3 o'clock this afternoon in this court. The court's going to issue a bench warrant for Mr. Goldberg. It should appear at 3 o'clock. It's going to appear at 3 o'clock.
There is nothing like the smell of men finally winning family court custody battles in the morning. Title of today's video: Mom refuses to comply with court orders and receives instant justice. But what makes this video particularly interesting is that the woman and the woman's lawyer begin to fight in the middle of the video, self-sabotaging due to ego, and the judge is not having it. Without further ado,
the record of this matter is before the court on the plaintiff's motion to modify custody and or parenting time, as well as a motion for order to show cause. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. The present is the plaintiff father, Michael Rodriguez. In addition, attorney Stephen Rotenberg is present, representing defendant mother, Chelsea Rodriguez. Ms. Rodriguez is present. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Judge.
The parties have conferred at length with Ms. Brower from the front of the court this morning, who has provided the court with the following recommendation: that both parties must submit proof to the front of the court and the court that the SMILE program and the High Conflict Solutions Workshop have been completed within 7 days. Children shall attend Monroe Public Schools as previously ordered. Mother shall ensure the children attend Monroe Public Schools no later than tomorrow, September 5, 2024. Mother shall not leave the children unattended for any period of time during her parenting time. And finally, the show cause be dismissed. That is the recommendation. Mr. Rodriguez, do you understand the recommendation this morning?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any objection to the court adopting the recommendation?
No, the only thing I ask is for like the drop-off time is if she can come pick up her children when it's her time, because I've had my girlfriend go out there and she's failed to even show up to where it was for over an hour, and then doesn't answer anyone's calls when it's time to pick up my children. And this is the main reason why, because she keeps keeping them against me, or just leaving them alone.
None of this was brought up. None of this was brought up in front of you.
I just filed a complaint, Stephen. Yes, it was brought up.
It was not brought up. Not in this motion.
Well, it's in the courts. So the complaint I just filed shows all that.
That's not up for today. That's not relevant for today.
I had the police number and everything if you guys need it.
If there's an issue with exchanges, we'll address that this morning.
That's fine. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to address
every week. So if there's an issue regarding exchanges and the time exchanges, we'll address that this morning.
Okay.
Hold on, Mr. Rotenberg. Hold on. Ms. Brower, trying to go through this thick file here. Is there any time where the parties meet right now for exchanges, or where they meet? Perhaps they should meet at the law enforcement agency at a certain time.
Now, usually when I review cases like this, generally the conclusion is that you should have a lawyer, especially as a man, going into these court proceedings. This man does not, while his ex comes prepared with her lawyer by the name of Stephen. But it's going to get very interesting here in a quick second. And I also want to call out this, guys, if you show up for these Zoom courtroom proceedings, get yourself a camera stand, go inside, get decent lighting, and attempt to dress professional. And attempt to dress at least business casual. Men who conduct themselves in a high image or much more professional way tend to get better results out of life, including within court proceedings, than those that do not. Walking outside while the camera's going everywhere, making everyone dizzy who's trying to talk to you or look at you is not going to enhance your case.
Your Honor, I believe that they meet, it's in a recent order. Just a moment.
It's at the Canton police station at like 6 o'clock.
Mr. Rodriguez, where do you propose that you meet for the exchanges? And I'll ask Mr. Rotenberg what he proposes.
Well, I'm just asking. She says she has off like an hour throughout the day here and there. So within her hour on my time, if it's possible, she could bring them to me during the day, and then my girlfriend watches them like it's been previously stated throughout the day until I get off of work. But
Judge,
she just fails.
Please, I'm not going to interrupt you. Please do not interrupt. Otherwise, I'm going to mute you. Please.
Damn, I just think the judge made the lawyer shut up for interrupting the guy. Very rare to see.
The last time I was supposed to pick up my children, it was probably about 2 weeks ago. My girlfriend went to pick them up at the Canton police station at around 6 o'clock, like we're supposed to. And Chelsea was just nowhere to be found. I texted, called, no answer. And probably till couple of days ago, she finally answered me. I just haven't got a chance to even get a hold of my daughter. I don't know how my kids are doing. Yeah, I'm just
Right.
confused on what's going on right now. But if she can meet me, if she can come this way for her children when it's time to pick up, I'll drop them off to her. That's fine when it's her time. But she can pick them up when it's her time. But I'm not.
And you,
I feel like
you
it's
can't
just
communicate with Ms. Rodriguez about these simple things?
no. I can't.
All
Unfortunately,
right.
he won't answer me.
Your Honor,
Right.
if I may,
Chelsea, sorry, I thought it was
Ms.
Chelsea.
Brower?
Sorry.
Referee Hamrich on August 14th recommended that the parties exercise all parenting time exchanges at the Flat Rock Police Department. That 21-day objection period ends this Friday. Neither party has filed an objection to that as of today.
All right, so I got to follow instruction.
I'm sure that was in August.
August 12th.
Recommended order.
August 14th. It's a
So it's
recommendation
not-
at this point. I don't believe the court has it in its file.
Yes, not in the court's file. And that provided the parties meet at where the Flat Rock Police Department?
The Flat Rock, yes.
At what time? Does it have specific times?
It does not.
Okay.
The parties would follow the previous court order for parenting time. I believe that gives father alternating weekends, Thursday at 6 to Monday to school or 9 a.m.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, the friend of the court also did an investigation and recommendation as far as parenting time. Neither party has motioned the court to adopt it, but the friend of the court's recommendation is to give mother alternating weekends, Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6, and that the children remain in Monroe Public Schools.
And Judge, we would object to part of that recommendation, and I'll explain why.
Well, if you got to
Ms.
file an
Rod-
objection, Mr. Rolenberg. I mean, in front of the court, the referee recommended order, that will take effect if there's not a written objection filed within 21 days.
Right, we're mixing, okay, I think what we're doing is we're mixing recommendations and orders a little bit, that there's multiple ones out here. This morning, Ms. Brower recommended, or is about to recommend, that the children remain in the Monroe Public Schools and the parenting time remain as follows. MCL 722.31 is the 100-mile rule, and that allows a parent to move within 100 miles without the court's permission. Ms. Rodriguez moved to Canton, which is about 40 minutes away by car from city center to city center from Monroe, to get a better job, which is in the best interest of the children. If she was to keep the children in Monroe Public Schools, that would force her to drive back and forth to Monroe 4 times or do 2 round trips a day during the school year. The kids would be in the car for at least an hour and a half a day more than they otherwise would be. They would not be able to participate in extracurriculars near where they live during the school week, and it would interfere with their ability to make friends with their new schoolmates in their new neighborhood. Now, Ms. Rodriguez probably should have asked for the court's permission to change that order to change where the children are enrolled. But there's no real difference that I know of between Canton Public Schools and Monroe Public Schools. And I think it would be in the best interest of everybody, wear and tear on the car, reducing the amount of travel time, reducing the amount of driving, because these children, I think, might go to different schools. I'm not sure if they all go to the same one or not. But as a practical matter, it puts a huge burden on them to drive in this car going back and
So in other words, she prioritized the opportunity to get more money over prioritizing having a father in their lives. And what's interesting is that the lawyer says that this was done in the best interest of the children. Now that just sounds like you're lying, sir. How was this in the best interest? There is no complaint of money issues within this case, just about the ease on the mother's life of uprooting the children, switching school districts about an hour away. Doing all of this without agreement from the father is nasty work.
forth. Okay, she could move up there without the court's permission. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing all that different that I'm aware of, as I said, between Canton Public Schools and Monroe Public Schools. So I'd say that we adopt the order, except that she can enroll them in the Canton Public Schools, because Mr. Rodriguez doesn't have them during the school week. It's on information and belief he doesn't drive. Okay, well maybe you do. Then I stand corrected. But as a practical, Ms. Rodriguez has a better paying job than she had before, earns more than she ever did, has benefits for the kids that she never had. And all this would do is basically force her to have to ask the court's permission to do what she's allowed to do by right, because that previous order might have been a little bit more restrictive than it otherwise should have been. It possibly should have said something along the lines, the public schools where the parties live, or something like that. Because there's nothing, I'm unaware of any inherent property other than geography that would differentiate Monroe Public Schools from the Canton Public Schools. So that would be the extent of my objection to the recommendation. Now, as for all the other, now as Mr. Rodriguez, let me finish. Now, as for the other thing, we have a bit of chaos here, in that I filed an appearance, and I did send it to Mr. Rodriguez, I believe, on the 12th. The appearance itself says that I request copies of everything filed in this case. I haven't received anything from Mr. Rodriguez. I haven't received his most recent objections. I got that from the friend of the court. I haven't received it. I have not received anything, and I requested them, and he's wants to be his own attorney. I would like copies of those files. I haven't received them. The other thing too is the other thing. It doesn't matter.
You could easily get that.
Mr. Rodriguez, do not interrupt, please.
The other thing too that we have with this is he likes to file objection after objection after objection after objection, zillions of them, and then he mixes them all up and tries to fight them all at once. And it adds to the confusion of the case. So I don't really see anything other than a power play issue here, favoring Mr. Rodriguez having the children in the Monroe Public Schools if they're near Ms. Rodriguez.
Of course he's going to file objection after objection. His ex wants to take his children and put them farther away from him and also enroll them in different schools. That doesn't sound like a man that's trying to make their situation or the kid's situation harder, as the lawyer is trying to say. It sounds like a man who's fighting to see his kids, to be in his kid's life more often. This can all be solved if she prioritized keeping the kids closer as opposed to reducing her time to get to this new place of business. The lawyer here is fumbling a lot and is not prepared for this meeting. The judge is going to pick up on it and let him know how he feels. Let's continue.
It's obviously these parties don't get along, but also Mr. Rodriguez has unclean hands. Both parties were ordered to participate in certain programs. I don't know if my client has or hasn't, but we sure as heck don't know if Mr. Rodriguez has or hasn't either, because again, there's been no proof.
I filed
he hasn't given, as the attorney of record, and I am entitled to all filings. And if you want to play lawyer, we're all supposed to play by the court rules. Those are the rules of the road, so we don't have chaos. And this has become one hand clapping. So if Mr. Rodriguez, I would ask that Mr. Rodriguez give me copies of everything that's been filed in this case, number one. Number two, we would ask that the court entertain allowing Ms. Rodriguez to have the children in Canton Public Schools, because there's no good reason to have them driving back and forth an hour and a half every day. Plus I don't quite know what time her shift starts or how this interplays with any latchkey programs or anything like that. I believe Ford starts pretty early in the morning, and I don't know, if memory serves me right, I think it might be a 7 o'clock shift. I don't know how the heck that this would even be feasible. We don't want to endanger her job.
So who's watching the kids?
The kids.
Mr. Rodriguez, can you mute? We're going to mute you, Mr. Rodriguez. You keep interrupting.
And as for who's watching the kids, Mr. Rodriguez, during the school year, if they're in school, it doesn't really matter. They're being watched by school staff. That's what we're talking about right now. If we have other issues with latchkey or daycare or other things like that, we can deal with that at another time. But right now we have a serious issue here as to adding hundreds of miles of road travel to these children's lives every week. And that's not in their best interest.
Thank you, Mr. Rodenberg.
Thank you.
Mr. Rodenberg, without question, Ms. Rodriguez, she can move to Canton. She can. But changing the schools on her own, that is not permissible without this court allowing that. She can't just unilaterally change the school district for the children. Mr. Rodenberg, have you received a copy of the recommendation of Catherine Scott dated August 26, 2024?
I'm unsure, Judge. I do not know. I don't have it in the file in front of me, but that does not necessarily mean I don't have it.
The referee Homrick on June 25th.
Yes, I have that. Yes.
Her recommendation is at the issue of school district, and she denied the request of modified parenting time. She recommended that mothers have parenting time week on, week off during the summers, that they both complete the high conflict solutions parenting workshop, and that the issue of parenting time and choice of school district for 2024-25 school year be referred to the front court for investigation recommendation. Catherine Scott completed a investigation. She issued a report dated August 26, 2024. She indicates that also she interviewed both the children, the 10 and 7-year-olds were old enough to be interviewed. That defendant mother failed to cooperate in any way with the front of the court during this first parent time investigation. She did not respond. She was mailed a questionnaire. She was asked to make a phone interview. She did not respond at all or cooperate with the front of the court regarding this investigation. So the recommendation of Catherine Scott is that children attend Monroe Public Schools to provide continuity, consistency for the children. That's where the children have been. Not unilaterally change them to Canton schools where they're not familiar with. And further, that mom's parenting time during the school year be alternating weekends, Friday at 6 until Sunday at 6.
Again, but Judge, again, if she's got them Friday at 6 till Sunday at 6, it makes no sense. Shush. It makes no sense to force her to drive back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there is no, and as for consistency with schools, Judge, as you know, every few years you wind up in a new school, school friends and school things are inconsistent. You're in with it with a new class or whatever. You know, my kids complain, oh, I'm in with my friends, I'm not in with my friends, etc. The fact is they'll make new friends. And as for the consistency from one year to the next, there's no, it really doesn't make a difference. The issue really is just during the school year, because parents pick up and move all the time. So I'm not entirely sure that extra verbiage about consistency, other than amplification, is really justified.
Now, the mother was trying to interject on the lawyer because the mother feels as though the lawyer is not doing a good job of representing her. And how did he respond? Chelsea, shush. She better go to Temu or wherever she found him out and request a damn refund. But the judge is about to turn up right here. Let's listen.
Right, because they are enrolled in school.
Right. Mr. Rodenberg, there's been no petition filed with this court to change school districts. Mother has just unilaterally decided she's going to do this on her own. There's been no petition filed with the court to change the school district of the child to make that an issue, and school has begun this week. So the court at this time is of the opinion that children need consistency, continuity, and that they will continue in their current schools, Monroe Public Schools. And Ms. Rodriguez shall return the children to school tomorrow morning, unless you want to bring them back to dad this evening. The court will adopt Ms. Brower's recommendation. And in addition, the court's going to adopt the recommendation of Catherine Scott. Obviously, Ms. Rodriguez did not cooperate in any form or fashion to respond and provide input from the court. So parenting time for the mom will be week on, week off during the summers. During the school year, beginning this weekend, mom will have alternating weekends, Fridays at 6 till Sunday at 6. The exchange will occur at the Flat Rock Police Department. Okay.
I go into work at 3.
You can't do it, Mr. Rodriguez. Perhaps we can do it Saturday morning.
Okay, so make it 5. Can you do it at 5 o'clock, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the parenting time exchange will be at 5 o'clock on Friday and 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Perfect.
So
you can bring the kids whenever
children to that Flat Rock Police Department. So Ms. Rodriguez, you wanted to take the children to school in the morning. You're going to take them back to you take them to school in the morning. You can take them back to Ms. Rodriguez this evening. What makes the most sense?
Well, I work. She doesn't want to meet
Rodriguez, Chelsea Rodriguez. You're going to take the
sorry,
children back to Mr. Rodriguez. There are children in your possession this morning. Is that correct?
Are they in mine? I'm sorry.
Yes. Where are the children
Yes.
this morning?
They're at school out here.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
school started.
The court has ordered they be returned to Monroe Public Schools. Do you want to take them to school in the morning? Do you want to take them back to Rodriguez this evening?
Okay, Your Honor, okay. Respectfully, I need to speak about this because you're putting them in a school district. You think this is consistency?
Okay. The court will order Ms. Rodriguez that you meet the Flat Rock Police Department at 6 o'clock tonight.
Judge,
5 o'clock tonight. So that's not good for Mr. Rodriguez. Exchange children at 5 o'clock tonight, and so that Mr. Rodriguez can give them to Monroe Public Schools in the morning.
No.
Now
You're
we
not letting me speak.
Judge,
The kids have been
Ms. Rodriguez,
school district
Ms.
for
Rodriguez, hold on.
years.
Ms. Rodriguez, we're going to mute Ms. Rodriguez for a minute. Ms. Rodriguez, if you're saying no to this court, you're not complying with this court order, then I'm going to order you to appear this afternoon in this court with the children. You come down here this afternoon and we'll start contempt proceedings. If you're telling this court you're going to ignore this court's order, then you appear personally in this court this afternoon at 3 o'clock with the children. Do you understand that? Is that what you want to do? We're going to mute her. Your response. Okay, your response, Ms. Rodriguez?
Respectfully, you're not allowing me to say
Ms.
what
Rodriguez, this court is ordering that you appear with the children at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Ms. Rodriguez. You be here too, so pick up the children.
I'm not,
Be down here.
I'm not doing that. They're not.
Mr.
Judge,
Roberg, if she
my-
didn't appear at 3 o'clock this afternoon in this court, the question can issue a bench warrant for Mr. Roberg. If she didn't appear at 3 o'clock, it's ordered to appear at 3 o'clock this afternoon with the children.
No,
We're done. Zoom out.
Chelsea, you're showing up with the kids.
like, what?
Now that's an ending right there. Judge asks her, are you going to comply? She says no. Judge says, bring your ass and them kids right here down to my courthouse at 3 p.m. today. The judge ain't got time for your bullshit, ma'am. An order is an order. Respectfully, my ass. Saying respectfully is not going to save your case, madam. Even a damn lawyer gave up at the end and let her know you got to go down to the courthouse now with your loud ass. I understand more now why the lawyer was telling her to shut up. But yeah, that's how you sabotage yourself in court. And shout out to all the real judges out there that prioritize what's truly best for the kids in lieu of what's truly best for her. And I still say that the guy got lucky here by not having a lawyer and constantly walking around waving his phone. I'm actually surprised he didn't get a warning. If you're in court, stand still at the utmost least. But yeah, shout out to this judge for standing on his ground. Questions, comments, concerns? God already know what to do. Me and good tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Guys, let me know what you think about this court case down in the comment box down below. Let's have a discussion about it. Last but not least, join my men's community. Link to it down in the description box down below. Beam up, and I'll see you guys there. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.